Okay, now let's see how we can solve this problem, how we can get the maximum element out of array, right? So there is an array that is given, let's say that is 10, 5, 20, 19, 10, then 3. What we can do, we can simply traverse this array or iterate this array, and we can keep a variable that is max value, right? And on while we are traversing it, okay, so we will compare the element. Suppose we are on this index, on 0th index, right? So we will compare the max value that we have fetched till now with this current value, and if current value is greater than max value, then we will update the max value variable, right? So how it would look. So first of all, we need to initialize this max value by some value, right? So let's say we are initializing it with the array 0. So initially we are considering a 0th element is the max element in this array. Now we will traverse the array from first index up to last and check if there is any value which is greater than this, which is greater than the current value of max value variable, right? So when we are at index 5, at index 1 the value is 5, so we will compare 5 with the max value, है ना? Right now the value max value is your 10, because we initialize it with the array 0, right? So from first index we will iterate this, and at the first index we checked okay, value is 5, so 5 is not bigger than max value, we will not update max value, right? Now we come to 20, that is the second index of array. We see that there is a value 20 which is bigger than our current value of max value, so now we will update current value of max value to 20, right? Now we come to 19. We see the current value, that is 19, is not bigger than max value, we will not do anything. When we come to 10, again we will not do anything. When we come at 3, we will not do anything. So our max value variable will have value 20, right? Let's see, let's try to write the code for it. Cool. So we will create one more class, that is max value. So let's say, let's create a main method, public static void main. Let's say we are declaring an array, int array equal to new int. Let's say size is 5. Okay, we will keep the size less. Okay. So array 0, okay, let's say you have 10. So what was the example that we were taking? Let's take the same example. So there are 6 elements in it: 10, 5, 20, 19, and 3. So let's say the size is 6. On index 0 we have 10, on index 1 we have 5, on index 2 we have 20, on index 3 we have 19, 10, then 3. So let's say 19, on index 3, on index 4 we have 10, index 5 we have 3. Cool. So we have taken the same example that I explained. Now what we will do to find the maximum value of this array, we will declare one variable, that is, let's say, max value, and we have to initialize it with some array element. So let's initialize it with 0 only. Now we will take a loop, for loop, that will start from index 1, that will go to array length up to the last, right? And at each element we will compare it with the max value. So let's say if current max value is less than array I. So if current value of max value is less than current element of array, we will update the max value to array I. Cool. Now let's try to print it. Let's take a string also. So your max value is 20. Cool. Similarly, let's see how we can find the minimum value also of this array. Cool. So how do you find the minimum value and what would be the minimum value? So in this array, if you check, minimum value is your 3. Cool. Let's take a minimum variable. We will do this in a similar way, right? Let's take a minimum variable. That is your min value. Again, we will initialize it with the 0th index. That is array 0. We will iterate on it on the loop. So for int I equal to 1, I less than array length I plus plus. Now what we will do, similarly, the way we find maximum value, now we are trying to find the min value. So if min value, current min value is greater than now, is greater than current element, means your current element is smaller than current min value, then we need to update the min value, right? Because we are finding the minimum value out of it. So minimum value would be array I. So in case your current element is less than the current minimum value, we will update the minimum value. Cool. So what would be the minimum value in this case? So in this array, your minimum value is 3. That is at fifth index, right? Now let's try to print it. So let's copy paste it. So min value is min value. Let's try to run it now. So your output is max value is 20, min value is 3. Cool.